and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I've made an executive decision to sneak in another WIP and Chat to get through everybody's comments. I am enjoying working on my large painting, which is of Mother Earth by Diamond Art Club. I don't have a rush to get any particular diamond painting done by any particular time. So I thought, why not just do another WIP and Chat, sneak in an extra one, get through comments, do my diamond painting, which I thoroughly enjoy, chat to you guys, which I thoroughly enjoy, and definitely do Waffle, which I realise when when it takes me so long to answer so many questions. And the WIP and Waffle that I put up on Sunday ended up being well over an hour and stopped really to ensure that I had the time to process it, upload it, and make sure that it was ready for 4 o'clock. So I thought to myself, WIP and Waffles are always enjoyed. There is no rule on how many I can do. Or if there is, I set the rules, so I can change the rules. And yeah, as much as I'm ready to kit up my next 30 by 40, I am enjoying doing this large painting, and I have lots of comments still to answer, to chat to you all about. So I'm going to continue on with the WIP and Waffle and sneak that in as one of my videos midweek. For those that have the time, can watch it midweek. For those that don't, they can always add it onto their weekend watching whenever it suits them, depending on what tasks they're doing. And yeah, I'll just de-kit my 30 by 40 and kit up, possibly do both of them next week, because there is no rule. And as I say, I'm really enjoying doing this large painting as well at the moment. I have my very tiny ones from Paint Gem. I have my small paintings from them, so I can always decide to do some of those if I feel like I need a break from this. And they are square, so I will be taking a break from a round to do a square. So yeah, let's just continue on, see how long this video ends up being, whether it ends up being 1 or 2 midweek WIP and Chats. And yeah, I'm going to go with the flow a little bit more. As I say, I'm enjoying doing it. The WIP, I do enjoy doing the WIP and Waffles, even though they take longer. But I really enjoy the fact that I am getting more of this painting done as well, because I'm loving seeing how it's coming together. Plus, as I've said, I have a lot of large paintings. So the more I can get through some, as long as it's still enjoyable while I'm doing it, the more I can then move on to whatever the next one may be. There's no hard or fast rule. I think I'm trying to, we'll see what the year brings. But this year, the comparison that I'm doing on the logo is not a rush. I have comparisons already. I have a comparison already of a round versus a square. So it's not something that I haven't done before. It will be a nice, different comparison, but there's no rush to it. There's no rush to do any of the paintings that I have in my stash. So I'm just going to go through them as fast or as slow as I like. No particular order. Nothing that needs to take priority over anything else. So yeah, here we have another WIP and Waffle, and I've just waffled for 5 minutes and I've still not even got to any of the multitudes of comments that are still there. But that's also okay. Throughout the December, I do throughout December and indeed through June. I do a whip and waffle a day, so what harm is it adding in an extra one this week? So Susan said that the Heaven and Earth Design Mini, so my black and white Heaven and Earth design, she said it's really starting to come along now. She loves my plan for doing the Heaven and Earth Design paintings. She said it's very relaxing for her to watch me diamond paint. Oh, well, you have a few more an extra relaxing video for you this week, Susan. Just throw in another whip and waffle there, because why not? I get to diamond paint. I get to do some more of my large painting that I'm enjoying, and I get to chat to all of you guys. She says she has a feeling that it would be very overwhelming for her to use the app and stare at a black canvas. She thinks that's why she enjoys living vicariously through me so much. Thank you so much for sharing. It does take a little bit to get used to Pattern Keeper. It does take a bit to get used to a blank canvas, though I did my first cross stitch probably at age 7 or 8, I think I was. Maybe I was a bit older. Maybe I was 11. I can't quite remember. I'm trying to work it out according to where I was living at the time, because we lived in a few different places when I lived with my parents. I was trying to, but yeah, it covers all those ages. So I'm not exactly sure how old I was when I did my first one, but it was years ago, quite a few years ago. And because cross stitch is done on a blank canvas, I think that has made it easier for somebody that, for example, somebody that may have never done cross stitch on a blank canvas. You know, some people do printed cross stitch, which is very similar to the diamond painting and the printed canvas. So I think I've got that going for me to make it a little bit easier. Plus, I have been doing it for a while now as well, so I probably will, you know, see as though I'm dealing with the tablet quite quickly and quite promptly. It wasn't the same when I first started. Especially when I was first using a PDF reader. I must say, Pattern Keeper has changed, you know, the Heaven and Earth Design diamond painting so much for the better. It's a program that was made for, you know, cross-stitch charts, and us diamond painters have adopted it for our Heaven and Earth designs. And yeah, it is absolutely amazing for it. It really does make the whole process so much more enjoyable. But yeah, I have got used to it. So I have been doing it for a while, and therefore I can go through it a little bit faster as well, I suppose, because I've had that practice of doing it, which definitely makes it easier. But I wouldn't say don't give it a go, Susan. You do get 2 free weeks trial on the app. So maybe have a look at some of the smallest Heaven and Earth designs you can do. And maybe give one of them a go, or maybe get a free chart. They do a couple of free charts on Heaven and Earth designs. Download Pattern Keeper, which you get free for 2 weeks. And maybe just get a small piece of blank canvas, so not one that you're going to keep, just one that you're going to practice on. And practice doing one of the free patterns and just doing a few sections. I mean, yes, you're not going to end up with anything you can keep at the end of it, but it'll give you 2 weeks to give it a go and see if it works for you. And if it does, then you can, you know, put your money into buying Pattern Keeper, buying a chart that you want to do, and buying the blank canvas and potentially the diamonds to go with that chart, if it's something that you enjoy. There are ways to give it a test for little to no cost to see if you enjoy it and if you can get on with it. But it's definitely different. Anne-Marie says, hi Rebecca. She says, have you read Clan of the Cave Bear? She says every time she moves country, she gets rid of hers. But she finds that she buys them again in her new country. After she bought the set for the 5th time, she decided not to get rid of them again. Yes, I think you've definitely spent more replacing the books than you would have spent on moving costs moving the books. But no, I've not read that one. I'll have to pop that on my list to have a look at when I have finished the current JD Robb series. I'm getting close. I am getting close. I think I've only got about 3 or 4 books left. So, and 2 of those will be the new ones that I've not yet read, which I may or may not listen to twice. I'm not sure yet. It would depend what they are like as to whether I listen to them and then go back and listen to them again. But I've definitely got quite a few books now that I want to look into to get hold of, to browse through and see what takes my fancy when I finish this series. But there's 50 odd books in this series, so I've definitely done well in getting through them all. I don't know how long it's been since I've been reading them, probably quite a while. I'm not sure if Audible tells me the date that I started reading them. Right, come on Glue Dot, you've had enough time now, behave yourself. Elaine said it was 2018 when I started diamond painting, i.e. when me, Rebecca, started diamond painting. She said, as you were the first YouTuber I watched. So it was 2018. There you go. That's when I started diamond painting. So we are nearly hitting 4 years. I think it was about March of the year that I started. I've got March in my head. My YouTube videos would probably tell me. But yeah, I've been diamond painting for 4 years now. It has taken over from any other hobby. I have done a little bit of cross stitch, but primarily I have just been diamond painting, and I absolutely love it. It's a hobby that allows, I suppose it's something that it takes long enough that you feel like you've achieved something, but not too long that you feel like it's taking forever. And you can vary that up according to, the size of the diamond painting that you decide to do. But I think that's what I also really enjoy about it. And yeah, even when I give away a painting, whether that to be to somebody I know or somebody I don't, I have been known to put completed paintings on the likes of Facebook before to give away to somebody. I still enjoy the process. I get the most out of the process. I don't then think, that's cost me X amount and I need to get that amount back as a minimum. That doesn't enter my head because I've got what I want out of the painting in the enjoyment in doing it. After that, it's just the fact that I might not be able to store it that makes me pass it on to somebody who can store it, display it, enjoy it, whatever that may be. Right, I need some more black. There is a lot of black in this painting, as you can probably see, especially over this side. I think we're getting a swan. I think we've got part of a swan going on up there. The swan has some ABs in it as well, so that'll be nice. Lisa's Colouring Corner, she said she's definitely someone that likes everything on paper too. She does use the Gems Flow app for her diamond paintings. She says her phone is always within reach, so she can have a look to see if she has a diamond painting. She said it's right there, but she's constantly doing to-do lists on paper. Yeah, I mean, I've had a diamond painting app on my phone, and I took the time to fill it all in. But I think what it is with me, or at least I find the way I am now, whether that's because I work on a computer for work, both the business work and my day-to-day work involves working on a computer, and the fact that I touch type, I find it very hard inputting things on my phone. So therefore, the only apps that really work for me personally are the ones that can talk between my computer and my phone. So we do have a to-do list app that Megan enjoys using. Megan is definitely more computer than paper. So we do have like a to-do list for the shop, whether that be things we want to do, things we need to do. So things we need to do for a shop launch, for example, are detailed in there. Things we want to do, things we want to find the time to look into, they're all detailed on there, so that we've both got a reference for it. And, you know, if one of us has got some time where we're in the mood for doing a certain task, you know, we can go ahead and see what needs doing. Now, because I can type all the details into that list, and it can be seen on a computer and on a phone, it talks between the two, it uses the cloud. I find that works okay. It doesn't replace my paper to-do list. I still do a paper to-do list for myself and my own tasks. But I find that a lot more manageable because I can view the information on my phone if I need to, but if I need to edit, add, you know, whatever it may be, I can do that on the computer. That works better for me. And I think that's what it is with the likes of the diamond painting apps. If I could input all the information on my computer and then view it on my phone, I would be a lot more likely to use it. And because that isn't the case, then I'll have the paper. Just give me paper. Paper and a pen. And then I can have the satisfaction of crossing it off the list as well. And still seeing it, but having it crossed out. Sharon says she was very pleased. She did manage to get a blue tray, as she missed out on a blue one last time. Well, that's good. Even if we did have a colour that was very similar to the last one, it gave chance for people that missed out to get one, which is good. Okay, have I got all the black? It looks like I have all the black in this section. I'm not sure how much of this section I'm going to get done, but I figured I would take off 2 sheets of cover paper so that I have the chance to potentially get further across, depending on how long the comments take. And it saves me, actually saves me time if I uncover 2, especially with it being a little bit bitty in relation to the colours and the stripes. I can maybe get, say I've done a K here, there is actually no more over here, but I like the fact that I can cross over the 2. But not too many of them over there. Hayley, she says, thank you for another WIP and Waffle. she's come to the conclusion, she says that her dog either loves listening to your voice, as he always sits with his head in my lap when I have you on, or he's jealous of your talking. I think that he thinks you're talking to me personally and we're ignoring him. He's a bit of a thick dog, she says, got a few screws loose. Well, hello to your dog, Hayley. I'll try not to ignore him. It's just a little bit harder when I can't see him, of course, but bless him. He's getting his cuddles in. Doesn't want you distracted by me. Renee, she says she's doing the Little Dreamers tree in the same size as me, and some of today's symbols she can remember what colour they are. She says that's kind of crazy with all of the colour that Little Dreamers tree has, that she can actually remember what they are. She's trying to catch up, but she thinks she is a long way from where I am on the canvas. You probably are. You've probably done it a lot more than me, Renee. I did go a bit, gung-ho when it first started, but then I definitely did slow down, probably far too much. I slowed down on the likes of my Little Dreamers tree. I do really need to give it some time and some dedication, but at the moment I'm really enjoying doing some of my large paintings, of which I have quite a few. So I'm really enjoying getting through those at the moment. Okay, I want this arrow. Oh, this one definitely goes in a few different places. Let's get a few diamonds out for this one. A few more of the orange. I'm still working with the same tray and pen as I was before, because I've just left it here in between videos, and it was easy enough to just pick up and carry on with the same tray and pen and the same set of questions, albeit from different people. Nancy says, thanks for this WIP and Waffle, enjoyed it as always. She has to say that she is in the glue dot like it camp. So there is a bit of you either like it or you don't with the glue dots. Some people will try them and then will go away from them and then may come back to them. It can take a little bit, especially when it takes a while for a glue dot to get to its optimum performance. A bit like this glue dot in this pen has been doing with me. Now, it may well be me, but it is taking a little while and a little more dabbing on clothes and stuff to get this glue dot to the point where it's not pulling up diamonds often. Though having said that, I am doing quite big sessions, I am doing quite long sessions of diamond painting, even on this WIP and Waffle. So maybe if I was sat on the couch doing it, I wouldn't notice as much, because when I'm sat on the couch, doing diamond painting, often I will get up to do something else and come back. And there's quite a bit of that break between diamond painting, which may result in me not quite realising how often the glue dot does need a bit of a prime. Maybe I'm noticing it more because I'm on camera and I'm conscious that I keep having diamonds sticking to my pen while on camera, but sometimes they do take a little bit longer to, prime them and get them to a really nice place. This one is definitely getting better. It's definitely getting, I say that, see, look, and it lifted up. But yeah, it's getting better. It's not sticking quite as much to the diamonds. So maybe we're on the home straight with this glue dot. And it can just, I can just start working on another glue dot in a different pen and try and get that one primed to a nice place so that it works nicely for me. We shall see. Liz Harrison, she says her husband gets sick of the click. My husband's not mentioned the click yet. We'll see if that happens. But he does tend to have the TV on quite loud. So she said her husband used to be the same when she did paper piercing and permago. She says, makes me want to do it more. With devil emojis. She says she loves the sound. He'll just have to turn the TV up, or if he's reading a book or something, maybe he'll just have to put some music on or put some noise cancelling headphones on instead if he doesn't like the click. I've got really used to it. I don't particularly think about it now when it does the click. Sometimes it is, you know, louder than others, especially if I've had to nudge a diamond. If I'm just sort of going to place it and it lands in the right place, quite often it's not as loud. Definitely gets loud near the edge of the canvas as well, where the canvas tends to lift a little bit more. Not so much in the middle, where it doesn't lift. But yeah, I enjoy it. And now he's got YouTube to listen to it as well. See, coming from all angles. Fee, she's commenting on one of my Diamond Art Club, when I was doing the minions, one of my mammoth waffles, not the one near the end, when I started doing some mammoth waffles. She says she's finally completed the mammoth WIP Chats. It's taken her a few days, she says, but with the Storm, Dudley and Eunice, oh yes, and the rest, there was more that came after Eunice, wasn't there? Though, of course, this was posted before the storm, before all the storms had finished. We've had quite a few in the UK, one after the other. She says she is happy to be home. She is hunkered down watching YouTube with her cats. She says, thank you for keeping me company. She did quite a bit on her own work in progress with this video on, as she's working on a decent size diamond art, which normally she's at work, so process is normally very slow. She's had some lovely downtime doing it. She says she can't wait to see if you purchased any of the new Diamond Art Studio kits. Well, I have mentioned that on previous WIP Chats. I do have my eye on one or two. One is a definite. A second is a maybe. I'm still a little bit unsure. I have just not been sat down at my computer and sort of ready to order and had my purse near me. That, I think, is the main reason. It's just not aligned for them all. I definitely will be getting them. And I'm surprised I know why I didn't just order them as soon as they came out. And this is probably what's made it even longer. Normally, when Diamond Art Studio release the paintings, I, of course, get excited and I go and I order. And I do it straight away. The reason I think I have not gone and done that is it was also launch weekend for us. The same weekend that they launched theirs. Theirs was a couple of days later, so it's a couple of days after our launch. But that is the time that I am extremely busy packing orders, because I like to get them all out on the Monday. So I spend all day Sunday packing orders, and I often spend a lot of Saturday prepping things, you know, maybe a sticker sheet or a logbook insert or something sells, you know, very well during a launch. People are stocking up, you know, or getting their order in for items at the same time. And, you know, if there's quite a lot of something, we make sure that they're prepped before we start to pack orders on the Sunday. So yeah, I was too busy when it first launched to put my order in, and therefore it hasn't been done, and therefore it hasn't been top of my got to go do list. But yeah, I will be ordering from Diamond Art Studio UK, that is for sure. So keep an eye out. Maybe I should get the order in soon and I can just do an unboxing on this channel and you can see what I got. I have seen some people in the group have been picking them up. Makes me smile every time I see one. Because I thoroughly enjoyed working on Mr. Quackers, and indeed Zesty Wolf, that was done in partnership with Diamond Art Studio UK. That was an amazing painting to work on. I absolutely loved it. So both of them were. So yeah, it does make me smile when I see people have been buying. Ooh. I am currently filming this WIP and Waffle while also preparing the WIP and Waffle for Sunday for YouTube. So it's just finished formatting itself, so bear with me. It's just finished formatting itself to my desktop and compiling itself into a video. So I've just told it to upload to YouTube. So on my next pause coffee break, I will need to make sure that I get the description and stuff sorted out in there, but it can upload to YouTube while we're chatting. And hopefully it won't mess with my comments. In Two Minds says that they love my WIP and Waffles while they work on their diamond painting. They're currently busy with Diamond Art Club's Little Mermaid and absolutely loving it. Well, you've got another Diamond Art Club to accompany you while you're working on yours for this next one. So quite very bright, this one, very bright, very bitty. My kind of painting, really. I do love the bright colours, they make me smile. I've just done my lime green. That was my letter H. I do enjoy doing that colour. I enjoy doing the lime green. I like the fact that it's not like the Minions in the fact that everything is really, really close together. So I'm still placing a lot of diamonds, but I'm not placing them all in the same space, which keeps it a little bit more entertaining for me. I don't feel like I'm tipping diamonds into a tray and tipping them back out all the time. It's not, a waste of tipping them in and out and going a bit like a yo-yo. I'm getting to place quite a few diamonds before I change colour, but they're scattered over the section that I've got uncovered. And that's another reason, quite often, even though I like my sections to be, this smaller size of cover paper, and sometimes that is all the time I have to do, is to do one section of the cover paper. With this painting especially, partly because it's new and I've got the drive to do a little bit more of it in an evening, I am enjoying taking two pieces off because of the scattering of colour. The other night I knew I wouldn't have time to do all of it, but I took the 2 pieces of cover paper off and then just lay them over the top when I wasn't able to do any more, and completed the rest of it later. I've just realised I missed some K before. Oh well, we'll get it in a minute. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying the fact of undoing 2 sections. Oh, I need more of that. Undoing 2 sections and then doing as much as I can, and if need be, just covering it up. Because I feel like I'm tipping the diamonds out for a reason, and I enjoy hunting down where the symbols go across the canvas. As frustrating as it can be when I miss a single one or even a block, it's still more fun, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm just kind of hoping it continues as we go up, though. I think it changes a little bit as I go further up, but I'm seeing quite a bit of H when it gets to some trees, so that's always good. Right, and I like to quickly glance over the painting. I do it more so when I'm not doing a WIP and chat, because I'm not looking at my computer for comments and questions. I do always try and scan over the painting, especially when I'm working across it. I like to scan over the bit where I'm pretty sure there is none, just to check I've not missed any as I go along. And hopefully that way I get them all. Anne Charlesworth says, I love your videos and hope you had a nice Christmas. I did have a lovely Christmas. That seems so long ago though. Like, not that it was, it just feels as though that was an eternity ago to me. This year is going both slow and fast all at the same time. I mean, I can't believe that February's done. It's done, it's gone, tatty bye. Like, how short were you? Though it is the shortest month, but still, how short was February? But March does normally bring a bit of spring, so I am excited for March and April, because we should start getting the warmer weather, because winter does seem to have been very long this year. I don't think it particularly has been. We did have quite a few nice days in sort of October, November, when it was going from autumn to winter. But yeah, winter seems to have been very long this year. Sherry says, gosh, I don't know how you do it. She says, I love watching your videos, and that was on one of my Heaven and Earth designs. I just plod on. I like the challenge, Sherry. I think my brain is a very busy place, and therefore it likes very busy things to keep me going, to keep the challenge up, to keep me entertained. I like the variety. There are some times that I just, I like, for example, paintings that have like a really black or white background. Sometimes I like the plain and the simple and the monotony of just plodding along, just doing the same thing. And then other times I need the busy, I need the variety, I need the challenge, I need the go, go, go. And I've now managed to work out a way to get that with diamond painting. With the variety of diamond paintings that are out there, and the designs and the images. And I've got my Heaven and Earth design as my challenge. And I've got some of my paintings, depending on, how many colours they've got and what the type of image is. I've got some of those to fulfill, the switch off time as well, where my brain doesn't want to work as fast. So it works for me. I think that's why I enjoy it so much. Anne-Marie says, waffle is something you eat and it's chatting to Rebecca. yes, a waffle also is something that you can eat. But yeah, it's also chatting to me. As we know, I answer a question or read out a comment and then just go off chit-chatting. Sometimes it stays on topic, sometimes it doesn't. It's just the way it may lead my brain, you see. Sometimes it just leads my brain to think of something else. And therefore, off I go, waffling away. While diamond painting. So I'm getting my diamond painting done, which keeps me happy. Right, we've got this one now. This is one of the colours that tends to be scattered more than blocky. So I do have a little run of 3 here. If you hear any noise in the background, I do apologise. It is kitchen pack up clear out day today. And hubby very kindly said he would do it with Megan so that I could get videos done. I knew I'd seen one around there. Took me about 3 goes to find that one. Oh, here's one that's a set of 4. So this is one of the symbols that sometimes there is just the odd one and sometimes there's a little line of them. So far I've had a section with 1, a section with 2, a section with 3 and a section with 4. Have I got any other single ones? I'm probably going to miss one. I do accept that this colour, particularly this symbol, 647, I often miss one. There is not a huge amount of them on the painting, so there's not loads in it, but I do often miss. But that's okay, because I'll just dip my pen into the pot. Right, I'm getting very blocky up this way now, so I think I'm actually going to start down here, even though it's not the next colour. The next colour is actually this one, but then I'm going to start filling in that. I think I'm going to do that V before it gets lost and forgotten. The lost and forgotten V. Let's not do that. Cat Lady said, I hope you stayed safe from our storms, Rebecca. She said, up in South Yorkshire, we've had Dudley and Eunice. Yeah, we had Dudley and Eunice, and then we had one, which may have been after your comment. It began with an F, because they do name them after the alphabet. Was it Franklin? She said, as she types this, we're still at the end of Eunice, but she's thankful that her windows were put in and finished on Tuesday before Dudley arrived. Oh, yes. Imagine if that wind got in the house the same way it was outside. She said she still can't get used to the sticky dots in her tips. She's still using blue wax. And she doesn't use multi-placers either because she finds it takes too long to straighten them. Yeah, that's why I don't use them. I mean, it wouldn't work as well on this painting. You could potentially use it for some, but I think you'd be flipping between the two of them so much and I'd be straightening them so much that it just wouldn't be worth it. But yes, we did get 3 storms, pretty much one after the other. The first or the second one, I can't remember if it was Dudley or Eunice, because say they were so close together, it's like one stopped and you had a few hours and another one started. Took our barbecue cover off. Maybe it was Dudley that took it off and Eunice took it out the garden. I'm not sure. But that is easily replaceable. It was just the cover. The actual barbecue itself didn't move. We've recently got some storage boxes for the garden, which is going to be holding garden things. But before it holds garden things, it's going to hold kitchen contents. I asked hubby to check it actually a couple of days into one of the storms, or in a quiet lull, maybe between one of the storms. I got him to check whether it had got any water in it, and it hadn't. So there's nothing like a storm to confirm that your storage box is watertight. And so we're going to be putting kitchen stuff in it, so it was empty. So a couple of times with a big gust of wind, it did move a little bit, just slid across the patio with a gust of wind. But apart from that, I think over the back of us did have one fence panel come down. But I don't think it's a UK storm if you don't lose at least one fence panel somewhere. You know, they fall down or whatever. I don't know. It seems to be around here. You will always find at least one fence panel that's gone. Not always in your own garden, but there's normally at least one that goes. But they are quite a few years old, so they've stood up to the test of time. It already was missing a little panel from kids kicking footballs against it, so it wasn't going to take that much for it to get knocked down. So yeah, one fence panel. Apart from that, we've been all good here. It's not been too bad at all. I know some people have definitely had it a lot worse than we have. Okay, I'm going for this A here, and then I'm going to start doing that build up, I think. Just fill in the rest of this little block, and then I can go up like little steps up the side of her dress. So I'll have steps for the side of her dress and a cross for this like pond type place. So now I've got to see if I've got any A's. These seem to be a little bit dotted about as well. I'll probably miss one. I normally miss the odd little one of the S because it's very similar to the 9. Not in symbol, but in colour. And I often miss some of the S or some of the 9. Any more A's? I know there's some up there, but I'm trying to check whether there's any more down here first before I move on. Diana said she heard you say that someone in Ohio, US, got 6 inches of snow. She says she would gladly take that. She's in the southernmost part of Canada, and 2 weeks ago they got hit with 45 centimetres or 17 inches in 24 hours. Ouch. She said that was the most snow to fall in their area in one day since 1944. She says just when we'd recovered from that, yesterday, they got another 20 centimetres. Ouch. She says she's so over winter. Yeah, I can imagine. I think you need, if you're working, you need a work from home. Otherwise, you just need a set of provisions. And when you have snow like that, just consider it diamond painting time. I think that's the only reasonable thing to do, Diana, is it's diamond painting time. Had another pause, been sorting out some kitchen stuff. But yeah, comments. Where was I with comments? I'm currently filming this on Sunday afternoon. I have, in fact, the video, today's WIP and Chat, has not that long ago gone up. So we may end up, depending on where I am on the painting, I may do a refresh on the comments. We'll see how that goes, because I'm hoping next week's WIP and Chat, next Sunday's normal WIP and Chat, I might try and start with my Heaven and Earth designs so that I get those done. Do I have any more of that red? Oh, I don't. It actually doesn't go that far. I didn't need anywhere near as many diamonds as I tipped out. So Jess says, Good on you, she says, for sticking with your plans to work on the Heaven and Earth design. She said, I know it's our hobby, but you really do have to have a plan and stick to it sometimes when working on these huge projects. She says it takes a certain amount of discipline. Yes, it can do. I do think, you know, a hobby should be there to enjoy. But I don't dislike working on the Heaven and Earth designs. I enjoy the process. I think sometimes it's the thought of working on it that is more of a thing with me. It's the thought of needing to get everything out, and you know, the amount of diamonds that are in some of them are in my big Heaven and Earth design. I think it's that actually makes me second guess doing it a little bit more than the actual doing of it. I do enjoy it once it's out. So yeah, I think I'm going to start off with that though next month. So we're already in March as this video goes up, but start off March with my Heaven and Earth designs so that I have accomplished my goal, and I need to do my extra pieces of it as well to make sure that that's done so that it is progressing nicely through the year, because the year is disappearing, well and truly disappearing. And I've already realised that I've got a little one. I think I've already done that symbol and I missed it. But that's fine. I'll go hunting into a pot afterwards and get that filled up. There's always going to be symbols I miss, just due to the style of this diamond painting, I think. And I think I waste less time having to dip into the pot to get the extra diamond that I've missed than I do spending a lot more time hunting to check that I've got them all. You've got to weigh up which one takes longer. Jess says right now she is getting ready for a solo trip to California for a planner convention called Go Wild. That sounds amazing. She says that she has a huge to-do list of things to do before she leaves. And her diamond painting is calling her name constantly. She told herself that once she finished this canvas, she might not start anything new until she has everything prepared and packed for her trip. It's going to be hard, but we must be disciplined. Yes, because I think you would have an extra level of disappointment, Jess, if you couldn't go on the trip because you didn't have everything ready, or you would go and not enjoy the trip as much because you'd forgotten things that you wanted to do before you went, or needed to do before you went. But yeah, it can sometimes be especially hard to switch off from what you're really wanting to do something that you should be doing. I think our brain knows when it is really something that should be prioritised compared to something that doesn't really need to be. You just think it should be. But yeah, I think we do need to set ourselves mini little goals with things to achieve what we want to, and hold ourselves accountable for achieving the things that we want to achieve and that we want to get done. Like your to-do list. I hope you got it done, Jess. If you've not and you've not gone yet, then get it done. Stop diamond painting and listen to me while you get your to-do list done instead. Chris says they're excited for the deep purple tray. They're waiting for their favourite colour before they make their purchase. Well, deep purple didn't work out as I'd expected. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another WIP chat, but just to make people aware in case it was missed. I ordered the wrong filament type, so I went to print dark purple to be February's tray. That was the plan, to do dark purple, and it was the wrong filament type, and it started printing a tray, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, that's not quite right. And I thought it might have been the settings, because we'd recently, you know, just recently sort of did a few different maintenance things on the printer that I went to print it on. And I thought maybe we'd put some settings wrong or done something wrong. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is definitely not right. And yet, turns out I ordered the wrong type of filament than what we use for the trays. So I do need to reorder the correct filament. So there will be a dark purple in the future, but it won't be in the next few months. We have had to choose another filament for March launch due to the fact that I got the wrong one. But we do have a few. It's burgundy at the minute. I'm struggling to find. I think pale yellow. There is one manufacturer that I have seen pale yellow, but it's not my favourite manufacturer. We might still give it a go and see if we can make it work. But it's not one of my tried, true, trusted manufacturers of filament that I know will give us the quality we want in a tray. But yeah, there's a few different colours that I know people have mentioned and that we will try to do. We're trying to vary it up as well, of course, between each colour. So we could have got navy quite quickly to be able to do, but I feel like we've done quite a few blues recently. And I do still have a couple of blues that will go in as sort of an extra colour tray on occasion. So yeah, we will see how it goes. We will do our best to get through all the colours. It just takes time. It takes a fair amount of time to print, and unless we can get the speed in which the trays print up a bit quicker without losing the quality, we just can't get to all the colours. Right, what do I want next? Let me get that one that I missed. So there is one there that I missed, and then I'm actually going to go down here before I forget this one. Brianna says that she loves the Sunday WIP and waffles. Thank you. I've sneaked in another one for you. What day is it that I'm scheduling this one for? A Wednesday. Sneaked in a little midweek one. There we go. See, I knew I'd forget it if I didn't find, get that diamond in there. It's a single one. Everything else has been done around it. Don't want to miss those diamonds completely. Juliet says hello again. She says it's coming along beautifully, and that is my Heaven and Earth design, or one of my Heaven and Earth design WIP and waffles. Hugs from Utah. Hello, Utah. Yeah, I do love hearing all the different countries and places that people are from. Lady Dax, she said yes with 5 of us, sometimes 6, she says, with her stepson. we all drank coffee. Occasionally the girls and hubby, she said, had a cup of tea. She's almost finishing listening to book 1 of J.D. Robb. She said it's a bit spicy. Yes, it does have its spicy moments in J.D. Robb. Does have its love scenes that can be a little bit spicy, but it's not what the whole book is about. But she is enjoying the listen. Woohoo! I've got somebody else onto the J.D. Robb books that I love. That's always good. I do really enjoy the series. It's a good series. Patsy. So she said that the Heaven and Earth design, my big Heaven and Earth design, she said it's looking beautiful. She says she has tried several places trying to find this size canvas, she says, but there's been no luck in the US. Any suggestions? So I actually got mine from AliExpress. I am pretty sure, as sure as I can be, so have a look and let me know if it's not there. But when I showed the unboxing of the canvas, which is in my Heaven and Earth design playlist, it was either in that one or sort of the beginning setup process for the Heaven and Earth designs. I'm pretty sure that I linked the actual store it was from, but I sent them a message to be able to purchase it because it's not a standard blank canvas listing size. It is one that you need to request. I think there is a certain width of canvas that they can do easily, and lengthwise they can go as much as the 2.5 meters. It's the width of it that can be the problem, but on Little Dreamer's Tree it's well below what they can do. But you probably will have to message. It won't be something that you could just click add to basket and buy, because who needs a canvas that long? Not many people at all. Handcrafted by Helen. She says she feels for me with the chaos, with dealing with the chaos of a new kitchen. Oh yes, we've been feeling that. She said we had one done. She said a complete gut, which is pretty much what ours is. I think there's only the freestanding washing machine type thing that's staying. She said she had that at the end of November. They had a setup with a plug-in induction cooktop, which was really helpful. She said washing dishes in our laundry tub. She said it took 3 weeks, which by the end was getting a bit tedious. Looks fab though, she said, and she loves it. Yes, that's what's keeping me going, is that it is going to be worth it in the end. That's always the thought in my head. It will be worth it once it's done. We have been sorting out and putting away / we're using a garden storage box for the kitchen contents that we don't need over the next week or so. I.e., we don't have an extra room at the minute to set up a full kitchen due to the fact that all the boxes for the kitchen are in the conservatory. Once a few of those boxes have moved, we will be able to set up a kitchen area in the conservatory. But yeah, we've been sorting out loads of the kitchen stuff and getting that all in plastic tubs with lids, but then in the garden storage, which so far as yet hasn't been used for any garden items. So it's It's brand new and clean, and everything, as I say, is in clean plastic tubs with lids on. We have our table set up in our bedroom with food underneath, the likes of a microwave on top, all that sort of stuff. It's looking very grand. It's looking very grand. But yeah, we have decided that for the main week for the kitchen, i.e. the cupboards going in and the place being gutted, that we're probably just going to have takeaway for most of it. We have kept hold of things like bowls and glasses and cups for coffees to be made. Must is a requirement. To live in a sane house with me is I need my coffee. Otherwise I am no longer sane. There's another one I've missed. In fact, let me get that one now. I knew I'd miss an S or a 9. It's always one or the other. Get a diamond that's the right way up. Let's get that fitted in there. I've probably missed some more, but we're trying. I've just spotted there's a single 9 down here as well. Let me get that before it gets forgotten. And then I think I've got some big chunks. So yeah, we've decided that we think it's going to be takeaway for sort of tea, and then we've tried to keep as much lunch stuff. We have got the fridge for food. It's not like we've had to mess about with the fridge because it's a freestanding fridge freezer anyway. So we do still have that, so it's all good there. And we found in some of the cupboards so many different paper plates from different parties that, you know, we've had for the kids, different birthday parties over the years. And we found some plastic cups and some plastic cutlery and stuff as well. And obviously we must just, whenever we do decide to have a party, we tend to pick up more. We obviously, by the variety of them that we have, we obviously never go and actually look in that cupboard before a party. So we're going to use all that up, or we're going to use that primarily for any plates and stuff that we may need. And then we don't have to faff about washing them in probably the bathroom for us and the bathtub. But I know the fitter is hoping to get the integrated dishwasher plumbed in and the washing machine plumbed in, so that we can at least use them even if we don't have a sink. So that should be helpful for bowls and cups, but I'm sure there will be some washing up done in the bath because, you know, entertainment value. Why not? I think it will be the weight once the cupboards are in, but the worktop is not yet in. I think that's the weight that will feel the longest. Yeah, I think the wait for the worktops will feel the longest because, you know, there won't be any changes happening to the kitchen. We won't see cupboards and things being put in. We will see all of that in nice, but we can't fully use it because there's no worktops. There's no worktops in, there's no sides to lean on, which in turn means there's no sink and no hob. So I think that will be the longest span of time. But yeah, we'll come out the other end. I just hope that I've got the energy / the patience once the kitchen is done to drive forward with the finishing bits that we need. We'll need a couple of shelves made because I am leaving a gap in the wall cupboards for shelves to be put up and have a little bit of open / pretty storage and decoration. I want it to be a mixture of the two. I want it to be practical, but I do want the odd little bit of decor in there as well. So yeah, it'll be getting those things done and finished that we can't even look at ordering or sorting until the cupboards are in, because we want to make sure that they're an exact fit, and the likes of the splashback as well. I just hope I've got the energy to get going with those. Okay, let me get my next colour. Got a few of these, the Arrow. Tracy, she says, hi Rebecca, I'm so happy to get the notification that there is another WIP and Waffle /chat. She says a hubby and herself are still working on the painting she gave him for Christmas, and it's funny to watch him. She says the painting that we're working on has a lot of confetti, and he'll just pour a small amount of drills into the tray to see if he can pour only what he needs at the moment. Oh, it's like gold when that happens. Doesn't happen very often, but it's nice when it does. He'll comment on how they're not lining up like hers are. And she's told him that he needs to pour more into the tray for them to line up, which is true. They do sort of knock against each other. And it is a lot easier to get the drills to line up if you have a few more in the tray than if you have, you know, just a couple. They will always line up better the more you have in. He's stubborn though, she said, so he just chooses to shake them a little more. She thinks it's fun watching him choose his own diamond painting path. Oh look, there's another one I missed. A number 9. They are testing me today, these odd single little diamonds. Testing my looking skills, and obviously I'm too busy reading comments. I don't know if this will help him, Tracy, but what can help when you only have a few diamonds in, you do need to shake a bit more than when you put quite a few in, because the diamonds do knock against each other and help each other to settle into the right place. But what I found when I only have a few, if you tap it onto the palm of your hand, I find that action shakes it a little bit more than just doing it with your hand. So if you tap it, it does it a little bit more than doing it with your hand only, but not too much that they all spill out, because you don't need from one extreme to the other. So sometimes tapping it against your hand can help. It's still harder with less diamonds in the tray. She says she can't wait to hear more about the progress on the kitchen. They are considering a kitchen upgrade, but we're just at the quote stage. She's thinking that they'll wait till the summer to do the work, so it doesn't interfere with the kids' school schedule. Yeah, we started the quote stage for this kitchen. I can't remember if it was March or May. I'm always awful with those 2 months and getting them muddled up. But it was quite a while ago, I think, that we started, you know, with our first sort of serious plan and look at the kitchen. And then we found during summer, it just got waylaid with other projects we had going on and a busy life in general. And I think it was October, November, we were like, okay, how long is this just going to sit here with we're planning on doing it soon, rather than actually just focusing on the task and saying, okay, let's get this done, let's get this booked in. So we actually did that November, December time. And now, end of February, beginning of March, the fitting is starting. Even though we are mid-fit when this video goes up, I did film it, as I've already said, I'm filming this on the Sunday, prepping my videos for the week. My WIP and chats I tend to normally do at the weekend, so that you can, so that I'm discussing the most up-to-date information. But life hasn't worked that way this week. Sundays I'll probably have more of an update for you, because that will be filmed on Saturday or Sunday. So I will have lived through the kitchen refit. We've taken out a breakfast bar that we have and stuff. So there has already been, a few big changes. I'm itching to wipe down all the kitchen and to wipe out the kitchen cupboards. And I'm like, why? They're going to go in the skip. Why am I thinking I should be wiping them all out? And I think that's just so that I have a nice clean kitchen before going to bed, even if it's a kitchen that's getting ripped out. So at the moment I'm just avoiding that room. I've come in my craft room, my little happy place, do my diamond painting, and just enjoy the world from a semi-tidy craft room. I say semi-tidy, there are a few shop items that are taking over space before March's launch, but compared to my kitchen, it's a heaven in here. Absolute heaven. Okay, let me get the next symbol. Tracy has another update. She's put them in paragraphs, which is amazing, because it's all different little topics. She says she is in Houston, Texas, so it doesn't get too cold there, she said, but she still doesn't necessarily enjoy the cold. I'm with you on that one. She starts boo-hooing when it gets into the 30s, so 30 degrees, that's in Fahrenheit. Last February, Texas experienced the demise of their power grid because they had unusually cold weather, an unusually cold winter. They lost power during that time. So this year we were prepared with power banks, so that to at least have light for crafting and for the phones, as her 3 teen boys get bored without the internet quickly, but she can be entertained with her crafting for quite a few days. Yeah, I do think everybody can cope at different levels with lack of internet. But that is sort of a true thing in relation to the weather. I mean, yes, the UK can be cold. The weather is extremely volatile in the UK in relation to, weather can change in half a day, from being nice to not being nice, etc. Whatever the season, it can definitely up and down a lot of the time, but the UK doesn't cope as well with snow. Our town copes better with frost than it does with snow. So a cold morning, it will cope a lot better with, but it doesn't snow every year. Whereas I can imagine, I know that it was a really, really cold winter that Texas had, and it's not weather that they're used to. So they're not prepared in like the same way that Canada is to deal with it. And it is a matter of what you get used to. And you're not used to it being that cold, so why would you have things planned for that cold that may happen once every 20 years? There's no point. She also said, have a wonderful week. Thank you, Tracy. I'm definitely going to have an eventful week this next week. I'm hoping it's going to be wonderful as well. I'm hoping to just take the enjoyment of the kitchen coming together. It is going into sort of a different shape format, so it will have quite a bit of a different look to it, which should hopefully, make it feel even more like a new kitchen, in the fact that of that change, the fact that the layout is changing. Diana, she says, oh boy, the hassles of beautifying our homes. Yes, don't I know it? I already keep seeing other parts of the house. It's like we've got to skip out the front of the house for the kitchen, for all the, you know, carcasses and kitchen rubbish and stuff to go in. And I feel like I could just go through a huge declutter of the house and fill it. But I am also thinking that a lot of it isn't actually rubbish from around the house. So I think we might try in the next week or two. I said to the kids, I said we might have to try just opening every single drawer or cupboard in the house and seeing if there's anything that we no longer need, and just taking it to the charity shops. To the charity shop, drop it off. Here you go. I don't need this in my house. And I think, I feel like we should do that with, you know, every space in the home. It's amazing how many things are tucked into little nooks and crannies. She says she does feel for me it will be gorgeous when it's done. She says she also loves the metal tips in the pens, which, yes, she's slowly switching over all of hers too. I do need to sort of sit down and actually switch them all over to the tips, even if I then add glue dots as and when I need them. But I am definitely switching over to, I think they just look pretty as well. They just look prettier. I just need to find a straightener that I can stock that I like as much as the ones from Everlasting Tips. Otherwise, I might just have to bite the bullet and just buy from them for my own pens, and just buy lots and lots of them. She says, do you glue the tip in the pen? No, I haven't had to glue the tip in the pen at all. They do come with little O-rings. And while I do love the Everlasting metal tips, and I have got a few of those, they don't come with the little O-rings. So I think I have had to glue a tip in a pen before now from there, just to make sure that it stays in. But with these metal tips, you don't have to, because, in fact, I can actually get my nail in. They have these O-rings. I'm not even sure if it's going to pick it up. But they have these little clear plastic O-rings, and they tend to be the flexible parts that helps it to go in your pen and grip. So, yeah, it's loads easier. Just throw them in. Throw a glue dot in, and off you go. And it doesn't come out in any way. I can still pull it out with my, if I can get my fingernail underneath, I can pull them out. But they don't need, oh, what did I do there? Try that, there we go. But yeah, they don't need glue. They don't need glue to stay in. So you could, in effect, move your pen tip from one pen to another quite easily. So if you don't want to, you know, change, if you do like the metal tips, don't want to change them all at once, whether that just be due to cost or not, you could just store your pens without a tip and move your metal one about as you go along. She says Little Dreamer's tree is coming along so nicely. She's 39.71% done on hers. I think that's more than me. I'm sure I'm about a third of the way through. She's loving working on it, but she also wishes her tablet would show the colours on the side like mine does. You do need to make sure that the tablet is landscape, and there is a little arrow to make it appear. I'm pretty sure I did show it in the video on the app. If not, Diana, do ask on the Facebook group for Pattern Keeper. There is a Pattern Keeper Facebook group. It may be, depending on your tablet, somebody else knows of a way to make it work. It's always worth the ask, because they're an amazing bunch of people that know a whole lot more about Pattern Keeper than I do. Some of them diamond paint, some of them cross stitch, because I think the app was primarily made for cross stitch, or for people that do cross stitch. So there are some things that's not as relevant for diamond painting. But yeah, they're an amazing bunch of people, so do ask them. And I'm sure if there is something that can be done, they'll be able to help you. I'm seeing a couple of other colours that I've missed as well. So that V, I'm sure I did that one already, and I've just missed a sneaky one. I did that K. I did that right at the beginning. I'm sure it was K that I did. And I missed 3 of them. So because they keep staring at me, I am just going to fill them in before I go for another big colour. I picked up 2 then, and I only needed 1. What I also keep seeing is I have the letter R here that I only need 1 of. It's the top of that little water flower. Excuse me, and it's sticking. There we go. And then there is also another one, this one here, that there only seems to be 1 of, or that I can see at the moment there's only 1 of. They're the ones that keep catching my eye. I think there's only 1 of this dot as well, but I'm going to wait and see if any more show up before I do that one. This letter Y is shouting at me next. I also have this little blue one that I need to watch out I don't miss. While I have that symbol 3 times, which is just to show you on the pot, might be a little bit easier to see if it will focus. It is basically just the colour background and a circle over the top. And all of them have a circle. This one just doesn't have a symbol in the middle. But it is really hard to see. So I've got 2 here, and I've got 1 over here, but it can be really hard to see those when there's only a couple of them, because they kind of look like you've placed a diamond there already, and your eye just goes over them because there's no symbol. There's no contrast as well in the colour. So this Y that I'm doing now has a white background with the Y, whereas the others, of course, the background colour is the same colour, so it's harder to spot. Anna, she says that my Heaven and Earth design is looking beautiful. Thank you. It is really coming along. I am enjoying the time I do get to spend on it. I'm not quite at the point where I want to spend more time on it yet, but I think that is because I'm really enjoying working on this large painting. That's why I've decided to do another WIP and Chat in the middle of the week to get through comments and things, you know, have a chat with you all, get through the comments and questions, because when I do work on my Heaven and Earth design next week, I know I won't get through as many, and I don't want them to build up too much, and people feel as though I'm ignoring them when I'm not. And because I am happy working on this big one at the moment, I don't feel that there's a rush to kit up my next small one. So rather than kitting up my small one this week like I was going to, I'll kit it up next week or the week after. I do need to de-kit the last one I did first. I try and make sure that I de-kit before I kit up. On most occasions, I will try and make sure that the de-kitting is done before the kitting up is done, so that my space is tidy before I add to it. But yeah, because I'm not in a rush, I am enjoying doing this painting, then why not just keep going with this big one while I'm on a little bit of a roll. Do this, you know, with you guys / chatting and the comments, chatting and going through all the comments, and then I'll have a video for next week that I can do. Is that gonna, that has got stuck to the glue dot. Come on, glue dot, what are you playing at? I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to take this glue dot out and start all over again. Okay, is that all of those that I need? I think so. Number 4. I know I do. The next colour really is that number 2. But I feel like I have quite a few bitty lines here where I have quite a few gaps. You know, bitty gaps that need something doing to them. So I think I'm going to fill in the gaps before I go for that one that is clear as daisies up there to me. Clear as anything. Let's get through some of these that aren't as clear and are getting a little bit hidden in places. And then I'll work my way up and do this little bit up here. Susan says she really does enjoy watching the WIP and Waffles with the Heaven and Earth designs. She says maybe one day it will encourage her to try it. But that day hasn't arrived yet, she said. Not quite there yet. She hopes everything goes well with the kitchen remodel. That's the one room in the house that is the most inconvenient to update. She says, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, it does have a certain level of inconvenience. You know, we all like our food. I was dipping into the pot for this colour and then I've just realised I have a full line of it up here. So I thought, let's just tip it out into the tray so I can get this whole row done. Make my life easier. Yeah, the kitchen and the bathroom, I don't think there is as much stuff to take out. We redid our bathroom, 4 or 5 years ago. There's not as many items to take out of a bathroom as much as there is out of kitchen cupboards. But I do find that, you know, the fact that we didn't have a shower, a bath. We did have a toilet. We were left with a toilet all the time, the old one and then the new one. But not having a shower, I felt like that was maybe a bit more than an inconvenience. I'll let you know when the kitchen model's finished. But for us, I think it was more of an inconvenience because it was a matter of when we needed a shower. Like every other day, we were trekking over to my sister-in-law's, which is only 15 minutes away. But you know, we'd all go over, invade her bathroom, and all have showers, and then all come back home. So it became, having a shower became a full trip out, whereas with the kitchen, as much as that is definitely going to be an inconvenience, we can have takeout, which means we can all still, you know, take out. Microwave meals will always be there if we just want something warm, not necessarily nutritious, but warm and can be popped in the microwave and heated up, and that'll do. I feel full if we're working weird shifts or weird hours. So I feel like, you know, because we don't have to plan and leave home for that, we don't have to plan in the point of, you know, check in that we're all right, all coming round to use the shower and stuff. I feel like it might be a little bit easier, but we'll see. I can imagine it getting boring very quick. And both instances, both the bathroom refit and the kitchen are primarily a week. The kitchen will be a bit longer because of till the worktops are in, but the actual building work side of things should only be a week. Cross fingers, it's only a week. Cheryl, she said, have you or anyone else ever had a printed canvas from Heaven and Earth Designs? She said she's in love with some of the designs, but she's nowhere near ready for a blank canvas since she's only been diamond painting since New Year. Thanks, and she looks forward to placing a shop order as soon as she's able. Yes, I currently have, well, I say two of them are Megan's, one of them is mine. We do currently have some Heaven and Earth Designs printed canvases in the house. I did do an unboxing video on it. So if you have a look at my unboxings or search HAED, it should come up. It was a bit ago. But I do have an unboxing video. Megan got one of the canvases in colour and one of the canvases in black and white, and my canvas is in black and white. So you can see what each of them look like, what the colour looks like, what the black and white looks like. So you can decide which one may or may not work best for you. The black and white will make you feel a little bit more like you're following a Heaven and Earth design pattern, I suppose, with you not having the colour background. Whereas the colour one will feel very, very similar, if not the same, as a diamond painting. It will just be big. I think they mainly do them in the mini designs, but it's a very good start if you really like some of their designs. The canvas is amazing. It's really good quality, and I do remember that from unboxing it. So yeah, go and have a look at my unboxing of Heaven and Earth Designs, and you can see whether you prefer the colour symbols or the black and white symbols. Maybe if there's a couple of designs you like, maybe get it in one of each. Start with the colour one and then move to the black and white for that extra little bit of a challenge, because the symbols all look the same. The same but different, if that makes sense. Yeah, and yeah, I would buy one. And I did buy one. And I'm rather excited to do that one as well. The only reason I haven't yet started is I do have two on the go. They're both currently on blank canvases, but I didn't want to start collecting yet another set of diamonds and trying to fit in, you know, yet another type of Heaven and Earth design when I already have two on the go. I need to limit myself is what I need to do. Alice said, hey Rebecca, are you going to get baby quackers? She thinks he's cute and they all loved Mr. Quackers. She says she's looking forward to a purple tray. Mr. Quackers is one of my maybes, or baby quackers should I say. Baby quackers is a maybe for me at the moment. I did really enjoy doing Mr. Quackers. I'm not sure if there's been enough time for me personally between the two as to whether I'm ready to do another one that is primarily yellow, but we'll see what happens when I go to add them in my basket, because everything can change. For sure. If I'm in the mood for shopping, it'll probably end up in my basket at the same time. It will all depend what mood I'm in when I go shopping. Into Minds says, hi, says, I'm with you on the coffee drinking. She was drinking 14 cups a day. She's now down to 7 cups, but she's hoping to get it down to 3. She said it's funny to hear everyone comment on the cold weather, as it is hot in Brisbane. I can imagine. They had 2 days that reached 36 degrees Celsius, but it felt like 41 with the humidity. It's always the humidity that gets you, I think. She is looking forward to winter. Yeah, winter in Australia is not winter. But then it doesn't get as cold here, she says. No, your Australian winter is probably UK spring, summer. She also started diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. That is an absolute pleasure to work on. And she takes her hat off to me for doing a heaven and earth design. It looks really hard. No, I think once you get your head round a heaven and earth design, it's not as hard as you think. Especially if you work in small sections. It's just a matter of counting a few squares across where you need to place a diamond. But I say I have cross-stitched for quite a few years, so I do have the benefit of, I've done that for years, and it's the same sort of thing. You're just counting across the gaps to get where you need to go. Linda says, in relation to the colours looking different to the on the canvas to the drills, she said the colour on the canvas is the same as the background colour on the symbol, which can make the picture look weird until you place the drills. So yeah, some companies will have a slight difference in the shading between the outer parts of the circle and the inner part of the circle. She says she sees it most often in the double-sided canvases, so the double-sided tape canvases. She says a perfect example of this is Hom Fun with their 310, which I have unboxed quite a few Hom Fun. It always has a blue background and quite often uses the symbol I. Yeah, so it doesn't look black because where you place the diamond, it has it as a lighter colour or more of a bluey or a greeny colour. And then as soon as you place the diamonds on, it all ends up looking black. So yeah, I can attest to that. It does look a bit weird, but it does all work out. Nellie says, hi Rebecca, she said, I think your tablet needs an update. It would not hurt, it will tell you if it needs one. Yeah, it hasn't told me it needs one yet. I did check the tablet after my last WIP and Chat and it didn't need one. But it hasn't done the fault or the problem if I close down the app whenever I lock my screen. It doesn't seem to like if I lock my screen and then open my screen again and go to work on it, that's when it seems to glitch. Whereas if I shut down the whole app and reopen it again, it seems to be fine. I'm guessing it's just an Android thing. Nettie of Norway, she does say she admires my patience as she can never do a heaven and earth designs, but it is going to turn out beautiful. I just like to challenge myself. And then last comment without refreshing today's, and the last few symbols, last few diamonds I need to place is Laura, and she says, thank you for this long waffle. See, look, my diamonds don't want to go the right way up because I've only put a few in. So if I tap it against my hand, it tends to like to line up a little bit better. She said it got her through her worst painting ever. She says, well, if she can say that. She said a lady in a Facebook group reached out asking if someone could finish a custom that they had done. She replied and said that she'd be happy to help. It's a large 50 by 70 in round drills, and she's finding it hard as she does have popping drills with it. She said yes, popping drills on a round, which did surprise me. She feels like the canvas has been printed for square drills. She has ended up swapping out the 310 with her spare 310, and that has helped, as she thought that the 310 that were with the painting were a bit big. She said she still has a long to go, but she is determined to get this finished for the lady in need. Oh, that is so amazing of you, especially when it is becoming a hard painting to do. Sometimes that can just, you know, make you wish you'd never decided to be nice, I suppose. But it's perfect what you are doing to help. Right, I'm going to close that computer. I do need to get my painting ready for my next section. So what I've started doing, I do still like the 2 rows of the paper, but I have started by choosing to not automatically put the next row up. And the reason for that is the next row is actually what becomes my line. So what I've started to do is I keep all the pieces of cover paper to the side. They're just in my storage tub. So these are like my 6 for this. And then I take this one off and I line this part up really straight, which means when I lift the row up to start moving on to the next one, everything is, I have a nice straight line to do the diamonds below that. So I move these up, say keeping a straight line, and then I will start filling in this gap. So at the moment, this is currently on my easel and my light pad. And all of this has got something behind it, but this end hasn't. So I'll do half and then I'll move it over so it's got some support underneath it. Make sure that my cover paper line is nice and straight. So I can still see all the symbols. And by doing it that way, it saves me messing about moving them as I go along. I've done them all at once. Then I fold my top clear sheet back down and find a pair of scissors and chop that close-ish to the next line, but not necessarily. It still hangs over quite a bit and it's a very bad cut line. And there we go. I'm ready for the next section. So I now have 3 rows done across the bottom. I still have quite a few more ways to go. I'm not near her face yet, so I have still got quite a lot of the painting to go, but I'm probably about a quarter of the way through, which is maybe not bad for a week or so. Though I have got a couple of chunky WIP and chats out of that. But yeah, I'm going to give it another week or so on this painting until my 30 by 40 is kitted up. If I do need a break from this, I've got my little mini ones, my little mini squares, to give me a little rest if I need to. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying doing this one, so I'm sure you will see this in future WIP and chats at some point, especially when I'm playing catch up on comments and questions. It works really well, but I'm going to leave it at that for now because I have reached all the comments and questions up until Sunday's WIP and chat went up, and there's only, as I'm filming this, there's only been about an hour or so the WIP and chat's been up. So we will catch up on those comments and questions next Sunday. And then if I alternate between a Heaven and Earth design and a non-Heaven and Earth design, which will likely be this until it's done, I'll be able to keep up with them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you all again soon.